I've never dreamed to be an astronaut in my whole life because I don't know how close we can relate to each other, but when I was a kid, we didn't even have a space agency in Korea. And the fly in space, being an astronaut, it's more like American and Russian story, not the Korean story. So I don't think that might be the kind of dream we can dreaming about. So I've never thought about it. And then even if we watch the movie or Star Wars or any kind of SF movie, every single astronaut does not look like us. It's a kind of more like a white Caucasian grandpa kind of figure is the astronaut, not us. So I can't even dare to dream about it. But in the middle of my PhD program, I read about the newspaper article. Korean government also considering to find an astronaut to send to the ISS and with space experiment. And that was really interesting to me as an engineering school student. And engineering school students, we always thinking about the machine and space and kind of systems and kind of like that. So after reading that article, I bring that item to my friends and lab mates. And how do you think about it? And in Korea also finally will pick the astronaut, and then yeah, Korea will send the astronaut to the space. And how do you think? And of course, because we are all grown up, and we said, do we have a money like that? Or if the government can afford it? Do they already secure the budget? Because it's more like a realistic conversation rather than if we are kids, like a middle school, high school, we might be, wow, that's great. But we already in mid 20, early 30 kind of spoiled adult, and we just thought about the realistic, practical thing. So yeah, maybe, but let us see. So we just forget about it. And I also forget about it. But a year later, and I read the article again, they will start the program really, and they secured a budget for that. And that was really shocking. And then all my friends said, oh my God, we already, yeah, Korea became like a space country, and then we can do it. And then we just keep asking around. And whenever you read that kind of thing, and we thought about what kind of people would be the good fit for an astronaut? And then we just talking about it. And then, what if I will? And they say, you don't have a good eye, and you better, you will be rejected. And some people, how about me? You cannot even run 100 meter, and your health is not good, and you cannot do it. And then we just kind of judging each other, criticize each other, and then like a close friend. And you are too fat, you are too short, and then we just insulted each other. But after for a while, and then one of my lemmates said that, how about Soyeon, you can try. And I said, can I? And yeah, you are smart enough and healthy enough. You run every night, 5 kilo, and you are healthy enough. And then maybe among the girls in this kind of engineering school, no one healthy like you, and you are very athletic, so you might have a high probability. I said, really? I don't think so. And then we just talking about that. And some of my friends are working on the military service, so they cannot do any other thing. And they said that, Soyeon, you don't even have a military obligation, so you are a free person, so you can apply. And then we're just talking about it. And yeah, and also, as always, whatever topic we talk about, we just forget it. But after several months, Korea really announced that whoever want to be an astronaut, you can apply for a selection process. And then I read it. Oh, maybe I can at least try, because I wonder who will be the final. And if I really want to know what kind of people will be, best way might be to apply for that. And then I can meet the real people. And then maybe I can be a friend of the who will be selected as a final. So yeah, my pure motivation was just wondering how's going on. Because Korea never had that kind of process before. We didn't have any selection process like that. So it's totally from the pure curiosity I applied. And my goal is to be the kind of first step or second step. And then once I succeeded to making maybe first stage, would be the good line of the resume to apply for my postdoctoral job or something. Because yeah, so pretty much I was the really realistic and practical person. So at the time, what if I can survive until the first stage? And I really, really want to come to the US for my postdoctoral researching job. And I already knew that there's a lot of smart Asians out there who will apply for a job. And Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Koreans, they always have a perfect GPAs and high TOEFL scores. And yeah, you know a lot of the smart kids in Asia. Yeah, everybody's good at math. Everybody's good at science. So when I read the astronaut selection process, oh my God, that would be the really good differentiate thing, because all of the Asian kids are pretty much the same resume. But what if I have a one line of the resume, survived until the certain stage of the astronaut selection? It might be kind of attractive to the American professor in engineering school, because all of the Asian kids' resumes are so boring. They don't have any fun thing at all. So yeah, that's my first motivation. And then I told even my friends, and then yeah, if I can make a 1%, because there was a 36,000 people applied. So to be the final, you should beat the probability 1 out of the 36,000 people, and it's less than a 0.01%. So if I can make a final 300 or something, it's less than 1%, and then maybe it's good enough to kind of write on the one line of the resume. So yeah, that's my pure motivation to apply. But went well, really much more than I expected. Yeah, it is a really fun process.